Welcome back to part 2 of the Heron's formula notes. In this part, we're actually going to do Heron's formula. So we know how to find the area of a triangle. And we know that we can find the area of a triangle by taking the base and multiplying it times the height and dividing it by 2. But now we're going to learn another way of finding the area of a triangle. And it's called Heron's formula, although you'll sometimes also hear it referred to as Hero's formula, because the guy who came up with it, supposedly, was a Greek guy named Hero. And what he decided was that you could find the area of a triangle. And when we're using Heron's formula to find the area, we refer to that as K, right, instead of A. But it simply means area of a triangle. Area. And it's equal to the square root of S, this value S, times S minus A, which is one side, S minus B, which is another side, and S minus C, which is the third side. The way you get S is you take A plus B plus C, and you add them together, and you divide them by 2. Okay, and let's go ahead and use this, and maybe you'll kind of see how it works. Okay, so we are going to find the area of this triangle right here to the nearest thousandth. So first what we're going to do is we're going to find S, and we are going to take 31 plus 23 plus 14, and we are going to divide that by 2. When we do that, we get 34. Okay, so then we're going to use that value S to find the area. So the area of my triangle is equal to the square root of 34 times 34 minus 31, and 34 minus 23, and 34 minus 14. And since we're finding it to the nearest thousandth, you can just type all of this into your calculator. Be sure you're using your parentheses correctly and come up with an answer. So please do that now and come back when you have an answer. Hit pause. And you should have gotten 1, 4, 9, and then when you round to the nearest thousandth, you should have gotten 800. You have to put 3 decimal places when it says round to the nearest thousandth, or I'll mark it wrong because I'm mean like that. But this rounds up to 800, basically. Right, and that is the area of my triangle. All right, I would like you to try it with this equilateral triangle. So I need you to tell me what S is, and then I need you to tell me what K is. So go ahead and do that and come back when you have an answer. Hit pause now. All right, you should have gotten that S was 18, and so therefore when you plug it into Heron's formula, you would have gotten 62.354 for the area of that triangle. Now, one thing I don't think I mentioned, you need to memorize this formula and how you find S, okay? Like any other formula we give you, we expect you to have this memorized. Okay, so now they're asking us to find the length of the altitude from A to BC. So I'm going to draw my triangle because I'm not sure I know what the heck they are talking about. And let me just draw a random triangle. So 3 sides. One side is 10, one side is 12, and one side is 16. Okay, and A is the side that is 10, B is the side that is 12, and C is the side that's 16. The reason why that's important is because in a triangle, if little c is the side, then big C is the vertex opposite it. So this vertex is C. Since this is opposite side B, this is capital B. And since this is opposite side A, that is capital A. And the reason why that's important is it asks us to find the altitude from A to BC. So it's asking us to find the height of the triangle if BC is the base. Right? So this is what we're looking for right here. Okay, so basically what I need to do in order to find this is if that's my height and that's my base, I need to know what the area of that triangle is. So I take my base 10, multiply it by my height, and divide by 2. Well, I can figure out what x is if I know what the area of the triangle is. And since I know all 3 sides of the triangle, I can find the area of that triangle. So first I need to find S, and I take 10 plus 12 plus 16 and divide that by 2, and I get 19. And then I plug it into my Heron's formula. So my area is going to equal 19 times 19 minus 10 times 19 minus 12 times 19 minus 16. All right, which means my area is 59.925. So now that I know what that area is, I can go ahead and plug it in for A up here. 59.925 equals 10 divided by 2 is 5, so equals 5x. So then all I have to do to solve for the height of my triangle, the altitude, is divide both sides by 5. And when I do that, I get x equals 11.985. And that is my answer. All right, I would like you to do the same thing for number 4. And I'm going to ask you for the answer in the notes check. Please be sure to round to the nearest thousandth. So I want 3 decimal places. This concludes our notes for today. Be sure to go ahead and do the notes check. Thanks.